Panthers assistant coach Linton Grant joins us on the midweek media conference. And Linton, I just wonder how the dressing room feels. You've got 4 wins out of 4. I believe it's the best start to the season since 2010. That's a local BBC reporter told us that. How does the dressing room feel? What's the confidence like?
Yeah, the boys are feeling pretty good about themselves as well, and the wins are coming in every which fashion. We played, obviously, as Danny said, the full 60 minutes against Manchester, and then kind of grinding out a couple wins against like Guildford and Coventry. So showing that we can pick up points in many different fashions, and that's just what it's got to take to be successful in this league. So I think the guys are feeling pretty good right now. Obviously, we all know that there's probably areas that we can just touch up and get a little bit better on. But yeah, I think the vibes all in all are pretty high right now.
We touched on that. How much is that important that the team can win in different ways? We saw that in Manchester where you kind of waltzed to a win, but we've also seen you have to grind out wins. How big is that the team is showing evidence early doors they can find different ways to win games?
Yeah, obviously it's good when you can try and capitalise on points early on in the season. It tries to alleviate some of the stresses maybe a little bit later on. But then again, it shows the adversity that the team can push through, and they're a tough-minded group that it doesn't matter which way you've got to do it, just grind them out and set you up nicely, keep moving forward. As I said, knowing that maybe if you do concede one, that the guys have that mindset of it's not the end of the world, we can keep pushing through and keep grinding them out.
And I just wonder that there's 4 wins, of course, have come in the Challenge Cup, and at the end of this group stages, there's knockout stages and a trophy. I can already feel that the boys, from chatting to a few of them in interviews, are aware of the importance of this trophy. Is that something that you feel early on, the talk around the room is about what this trophy means to the hockey club?
Yeah, obviously a lot of guys have said like it feels like a playoff atmosphere right from game one. Obviously having those first 6 games be in the Challenge Cup, obviously it sets us up perfectly going into like that first actual league game against Glasgow, that the guys are a bit battle tested and know what the pace of the league is, and obviously having that intensity gets you right ready for obviously the rest of the season. As it's big having those 6 games right now, because the importance of getting points in those 6 games is huge for us.
Just talk about Sunday, because we go to the Sky Dome, and I know when you signed, we talked a bit about your career as a hockey player when you were younger, playing in the juniors. Do you have some? I think you described it before as a snake pit. What memories do you have of playing in the Sky Dome as a junior?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of funny, but there's a lot of rinks around this league that I remember playing in as I was growing up. And I think the funny thing was I was saying to my brother when we were just about to play Coventry here at home, I was like, I remember losing to the youth squad a lot when I was growing up, and he had a different story from when he was playing Coventry. So it was kind of interesting that I get to now play against them or be against them as an adult now, coming back into England, that you can re-spark up those rivalries I had as a kid. But yeah, there's I think I had a couple decent games. I won't say I had great games, but I had a couple decent games at the Sky Dome in Coventry. I just remember how cold it was in that arena as well when I was growing up. So
are any of those players still around, from the organisation? You played as a junior. Any of those players around the league now?
Probably. To be honest, I never really kept up too well with the guy. I know there's a couple of guys in the leagues below. But yeah, I never really kept up too much with those guys. I imagine there's some scattered around. I know Solihull wasn't a massive club back in those days, but I think probably there's some guys that came through the Nottingham. I think I played against Ollie Betteridge as I was growing up, so it's kind of interesting to see him now in the big league. So yeah, I'd probably have to do a bit of a deep dive onto the elite prospects.
Did you ever make the big rink? I know a lot of the sort of junior games get played on the small rink, the CCM pad. Did all your games when you came to Nottingham take place there, or did you ever get one in the main pad?
No, I don't ever remember. So the funny part is when I got the job, my dad was like, oh yeah, it's a different rink somewhere else. And I remember coming here, I was like, I don't even remember this big stadium arena being here. I just remember it always being at the CCM. To the point at which we thought there was 2 arenas in Nottingham, but no, I was always on the CCM pad. So.
And then, of course, Sheffield on Saturday, we obviously playing them at home, but you've also got memories of playing, obviously, when you went to Sheffield a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I remember playing in a number of tournaments in that arena, and I said to Danny in the warm-ups of regaling some of the memories that I had playing in tournaments and against games in the Sheffield. And it's the same with kind of like Manchester. There's a couple fond memories of playing in Manchester. So I said it's a bit of a walk down memory lane for me now that I've come back and get to experience all these rinks again. But Yeah, Sheffield's an interesting one. I remember Sheffield was like always a great arena when I was a kid, because when you're growing up in Birmingham, ice isn't all that readily available. So when Sheffield has two arenas in the one building, it was a big time. So
We just walked into your final question, actually, because saying from growing up in the West Midlands, we're now claiming you as an East Midlander. I just wonder how you are now, settling into life in Nottingham and the great East Midlands.
I'm enjoying it. I got to finally get to experience going back to Birmingham this week, so I get to compare and contrast now, seeing what the two different styles are. I think in my old age, I'm getting a little bit slower pace, so Birmingham might be a little bit too quick for me nowadays. So, but yeah, I've really enjoyed being around Nottingham, going and experiencing the city centre. I probably still need to go experience the Forest game. I know it will kind of hurt my Birmingham fandom, but when in Rome, do as the Romans do. So yeah, I probably need to go experience a lot more things around town.
Brilliant. Thank you.